Welcome back to South Ark Motorsports. We're here again with Rod Fathers and their second car show for the year, the Crusing Against Brusing. It benefits the Compassion Foundation. It's a battered women's shelter here in Magnolia, and they do this car show twice a year to raise money for different charities, and this one is for the Compassion Foundation. We may can get Miss Debbie Martin, who's the director of Compassion's, to give us a little explanation here a little bit later, but we'll see. A lot of nice looking cars, beautiful day for a car show. Y'all hang around. Got to talk to Miss Debbie, and she said she'd give us some information on what the Compassion Foundation is all about and why they do this car show. Debbie Martin, she's the director of Compassion Foundation, at least for a couple more weeks.
At least for a couple more weeks.
She's going to be able to retire and
yes,
let somebody else take the reins, but she's put her heart and soul into that job, and she's passionate about it. That's why they do this car show, to help raise money. They keep cutting the funding for the Compassion Foundation, the homeless shelter or the battered women's shelter. And she can kind of give you some details about what they do for the people.
what we do is, excuse me, I have a frog in my throat. What we do is we take in individuals who have been domestically abused or sexually assaulted. And when they come in, it is a very safe place for them. We have security. We offer them services that they may not have, but we don't make them do it. We try to get them to find a job because sometimes they weren't ever allowed to work. And again, we don't make them do that. There is no time limit for them to be able to stay with us as long as they're making progress towards the goals that they set for themselves. And our advocates work with them so that they can make those goals. And as Greg said, every year for the past 2 years, we have had our funding cut. And that funding has to be made up through fundraisers. And this is one of the fundraisers that is done on behalf of Compassion's Foundation. Every single penny will go directly to Compassion's Foundation. Right now we have 35 cars registered. We're hoping for more. We have a 50-50 box that's going on. Right now there's $145 in there. We're hoping for that to grow. We also are raffling off a fire pit, and that fire pit is an almost $600 value, and the tickets are cheap. $2 for one ticket or $10 for a page, which there's 5 on a page. And all the money that is given to Compassion's in any situation, whether it be the car show or a donation from a church or whatever, all that money goes to help run the foundation, to help run the shelter. It pays the electricity bill, the water bill, any bills that we have that come up. And some, we do have other grants, but they've also been cut too. So, but our main funder is the VOCA funding, and that's the one that has hurt us the most. The first year, we lost $125,000. which was the 21-22 year. For 22-23, we're going to lose 125 plus an additional $20,000. So, and that hurts because it does not allow us to do the services that we want to do, that we would normally do for our clients. There is, as I said, there is no time limit for them to stay. As long as they're showing progress towards their goals that they themselves have met, we don't have a problem with that. We provide them sometimes with clothing, because a lot of times our ladies that come in, they have nothing except what's on their back, literally. Sometimes they come in with no shoes. So we have a storage shed that has clothing and shoes, and hopefully we'll be able to find something that will fit this particular person. We don't discriminate. We don't discriminate at all. That is federally, that's a no-no. If you're black, white, Muslim, whatever race you are, if you're being abused or if you've been sexually assaulted, you contact us. If you're straight, if you're gay, if you're lesbian, transgender, anything like that, if you're being abused, contact us and we will do everything that we can to help you get out of that situation and offer you a safe place. The telephone number to contact us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week is 870-235-1414. And like I said, it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Go on, fly. We do not close. That's just something that is required of us and our advocates. We always have advocates there. One thing else I would like to say is if you feel the urge to do so, we need volunteers badly. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you would have to come in and work with the client or anything like that. We might need somebody to take one of our clients to the doctor, or maybe to the dentist, or go pick up a prescription, or take them to the grocery store. And we might, call you and say, hey, Jane, can you take so-and-so to the store? And, but you still have to go through the regular process of doing the background checks and the training, because that is very, very important. You have to understand where these ladies are coming from. They may not have been able to make coffee. Believe it or not, we had one lady who loved coffee, loved it, but she was not allowed to make the coffee. It was always her abuser. So when she finally got out and came to us, we had to teach her how to make coffee. And that just blew my mind away. That something as simple as making coffee. And a lot of our ladies don't know how to cook because they're not allowed to cook. A lot of our ladies, they just clean all the time. Clean, 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 because that's what they are told to do. Some of our ladies, they don't, because they're not allowed to clean. So we have to kind of work our way into that, say, okay, we understand this is your room, but when it gets to the point where it's a little on the yucky side, then we very, very politely say, hey, let's work on getting this room back to what it needs to be. And the ladies are free to come and go as they wish. There's no restrictions for them. The only thing that we do is we ask that they let us know that they're leaving. So if they want to go with a friend somewhere, to let us know that they're leaving, so that we will be able to intervene if the person doesn't show back up. And especially if a person has an order of protection, which we also help them get. The order of protection is much, much better than a restraining order or anything else, because that order of protection literally means that if this person that has been abusing this other person, if he or she comes within so many feet, if they contact that person, there's a whole list of things on the order of protection that need to be done. They can be arrested, and that can mean jail time for the person that violates, or it could mean be a fine. I hope you edit this out, some of this. My tongue tied.
On average, how many people do you help a year?
An average will see us do anywhere between around 50. That doesn't sound like an awful lot of people, but when you take into consideration what that means, that's 50 lives right there.
And it's not a great big community either.
No, it's not.
Columbia County, Magnolia is not, I think there's 10,000 people in Magnolia.
Something like that.
We're not a great big place, but to help 50 out of that volume of people is a great deal, because for every 50 that they're helped, there's probably 150 more that won't come get help.
That won't come. You are exactly right. There's a kind of a stigma to it, especially on the male side, and we do have male victims.
Oh, yeah.
But it's, because men are supposed to be all, like this, everything. They're not supposed to be abused. But if you get hold of that right woman, she will knock the snot out of you.
Right.
Just looking at her, and it's we've got to break down those barriers.
That's right.
And it's not anything to be ashamed of, because we always have to remember it is not your fault.
Yeah.
You didn't ask to be abused. You didn't ask to be raped. You didn't ask to be sexually assaulted because of what you were wearing, and that is something that society has got to understand. I don't wear shorts, obviously, for one reason, but those that do wear shorts, you don't stigmatize them because they're wearing shorts.
Right.
You don't judge them because they're wearing shorts. That's the way they want to dress, and that's not an invitation for sexual violence at all. At all.
As you can tell, she's very passionate about it. She has put in so much work for this organization. I know she's going to be relieved to be able to retire and sit back and relax a little bit, but the Compassion Foundation will be in good hands. Just wanted to give you a little bit of history of why the car show goes on. We've done a video on another car show or two. They have the Dustin Bettis car show early in the year, and then this is their fall show. Mm-hmm. So y'all stick around. We'll look at a few more cars and see if we can get some of these people to talk about the cars. That's getting harder to do.
One more thing. If you feel the urge to do so, you can send a donation, no matter how small, no matter how big, to Compassion's Foundation, Post Office Box 1734, Magnolia 71753. If you would like to call and get some more information about us, our number is 870-235-1415, and that line is operated from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. The crisis line is a 24-hour line. It's 870-235, remember the 5, 235-1414.
We'll be back with you in just a little bit. Thank you.